Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen. In today's video, I'm sharing things I hate about productivity. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So I realise I've started off this video with like very upbeat energy, but the topic is not so upbeat. And I think the reason that usually I'm very upbeat and positive on this channel, right? If you've been around for a while, you might know that. If this is your first video, then hi, welcome. You might be able to tell from my manner that I usually try and keep things super upbeat, but I wanted to keep it kind of real and authentic with you in this video because productivity can have dark sides, and these are things that I don't like so much about productivity. And you might be surprised to hear me say that because my entire channel is literally focused around productivity and lifestyle and self-development and personal growth and all of that. And to be able to say that there are some things that I don't like, there are some downsides, there are things that I hate even, is kind of like an admission which I feel like not everyone would make. And I do want to be as authentic as possible with you and just let you know that I'm a human being and I struggle with things too, okay? And there are like bad days, and like also I want you to be aware of these pitfalls in productivity as well, because these are mistakes that I've made in the past as well, and I don't want you to like fall into the same traps that I do. So I hope you can take the sort of benefit from my knowledge and also know that I am just another human being and I'm not some kind of like productivity god. So yeah, without further ado, these are things I hate about productivity. Did I say subscribe? Subscribe. These are things I hate about productivity. And number one, it is relentless, okay? In a way, productivity is relentless. You can always be better. I say this in a lot of videos, you can always be better. I'm talking about like a growth mindset and making sure that you are like always looking for new opportunities to learn. I've talked about like curiosity and so forth, but you can always be better. So there's always more to do, and it can feel relentless. It is usually inspiring, but if you let it, it can feel overwhelming, okay? So that's a real pitfall that I've often fallen into, and it's led me to burnout. And sometimes in the productivity space, it can feel like a race to the top of who can burn themselves out fastest, or should I say like a race to the bottom, okay? So it can be really relentless. And if you let it like take over your life in that way, it can be something actually quite destructive in your life. So I don't want you to end up in that space where you're thinking, oh, you know, she's saying that we can always be better, so therefore I should work myself into the ground. Absolutely not. I've made that mistake before, and I would never want you to take that away from any of my videos. I know I've talked a lot about how to avoid burnout, but I just wanted to like make that super clear as well in this video. All right, another thing that I kind of hate about productivity is that people expect me to have it all together because I'm a productivity nerd. But it's actually the other way around, okay? No, like I'm a productivity nerd precisely because I don't have it all together. Why do you think this is such a topic of curiosity for me? Why do you think I spend all my time like researching and writing and thinking about productivity? It's because I'm not good at it. Guys, this is the product of my trial and error, okay? I'm not good at it. I had to learn how to be good at it, and that took me so much effort, and it takes me so much effort on like a daily basis that I don't want that effort to be wasted, so I put that into my channel. But it's not like natural to me, okay? Maybe like the planning aspect maybe is natural to me, but a lot of it isn't natural to me, and I've had to work so hard to learn it. So like I don't want you thinking it's effortless, and I don't want you expecting me to have it all together, because I make mistakes and I fail and I like screw up my sentences in videos sometimes, and sometimes I have a bad day and I'll like stay up doom scrolling until 2 a.m. and I don't want to be on here being like, you know, I'm perfect, okay? I'm not. And please don't expect me to have it all together. I really don't. Like, I'm just a human being. And I kind of hate that about productivity sometimes. This is not a criticism of any of you, by the way. I just think it's like more of a societal thing that anyone who has like an interest in productivity is expected to be this perfect human being. And that applies to me as much as it applies to anyone else. And I think that's something that we should kind of like deconstruct, because it's not a helpful stereotype, and it's one that can actually lead to a lot of burnout. Because when you're like me and you love to live up to expectations, you can really push yourself too hard in the pursuit of perfection, and you shouldn't do that, okay? Another thing that I hate about productivity is honestly, some people are massive assholes about it. Like, stress in the productivity community is something we don't talk about enough, and there is definitely a toxic side to the productivity community, and maybe that's why I have so much of an emphasis on this channel about mental health, because it can be horrendously neglected. And I've seen it on other channels, like I'm not going to name names, I've seen it on other channels, and I just consider that to be so dangerous, because these people are talking about like productivity is like the be all and end all, and they aren't considering like the welfare or the well-being of the people, like their viewers, okay? So I always want to emphasize that your mental health comes first, and I really want to like work in a lot of topics about self-care and like pacing yourself and being as efficient as possible so you can relax, okay? And making sure that you take care of yourself and your own well-being first and foremost. The idea that rest is productive, that hobbies and leisure are also productive. Those are all things that I really promote on this channel because I see too much of people being like trying to outcompete each other for how much like toxic productivity they can like promote, and it's really damaging, and I never want to be in that space, okay? So some people are massive assholes about it. They're like, I was more productive than you, you know, I work 24 hours straight, or like, okay, you know, sometimes you gotta work 24 hours straight. We've all pulled the occasional all-nighter, but like, if people are claiming that you should do that all the time, or as like a sustainable thing, then they do not have your best interests at heart, because that's not healthy, okay? So anyone who is telling you things that are detrimental to your health in the pursuit of productivity is someone who is not a good role model, okay? And I will never want to promote that. I know I went on a rant there, I'm sorry, but some people are massive assholes about it, and I really hate that about productivity. Toxic productivity is a curse, okay? And I will always really emphasize the mental health and self-care side of it as well, a lot on this channel, because it's not talked about enough, it's not emphasized enough, and I would never want you to like do yourself any kind of psychological or health related damage in pursuit of productivity. It is not worth it. And finally, productivity obsession can lead to overworking and rushing, two things that you don't want to do. Like I said, overwork is a highway to burnout and rushing is a highway to mistakes, okay? So both of those things are bad and both of those things are to be avoided. So what I really want to advocate for is a kind of more intentional productivity and one that incorporates a holistic view of your well-being. Now, productivity exists to serve you, not the other way around. You should never be a sort of like feeling like you're being dragged by productivity. You should be the one doing the dragging, okay? You should be the one setting the agenda. You are in charge of productivity. Productivity is not in charge of you. All right, that is a sort of general rant of things that I hate about productivity and maybe generally toxic productivity. Not like productivity, but maybe the space in general. I hope this was helpful. I know it was kind of a rant, but sometimes I like to have a rant, and sometimes, weirdly, these rants are the ones that people engage with. So I don't know, let me know in the comments if you vibed with any of this, if there's any kind of things in this video that resonated with you. Make sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.